Uprm. Didn't know what I was doing. I was just studying because my parents told me I had to be a professional. You gotta get a job, they would say. My abuelas too. So I filled the application. English was the first option, then ESPA and history. I just wanted to be a filmmaker and I didn't bother to check other schools around the island because I knew they wouldn't help me financially. And I didn't want to get into loans in my first college semester, so I didn't even bother checking for schools outside. Mama told me I could study for free in a colegio, so I applied there and got informed about their film certificate. I needed a minimum of 48 creds to start doing the film certificate, so I checked Colegio's BA options to see which one caught my attention. I loved the arts, but my drawing was terrible, so I didn't even bother. Next was literature. I always preferred English because I liked reading my favorite band's lyrics, so that was the first option. Next was Spanish, because it was also focused on literature, or at least I thought. I was willing to work myself through acentos just to get to this film certificate. And for the third option, I was between history or physical education. I always loved history, probably because of Dad, who's a history teacher, and because of my love for documentaries. I also loved sports a lot. I played basketball since I was a child, and my family was filled with sports lovers and some athletes, abuelo y tío. But I picked history because my physique wasn't the best. To this day, I still consider doing these bachelors, or I find ways to get these fields involved into my work. There is something about history and sports that I love, but I digress. It was August 12, 2009, and there I was wearing casual clothes to school after many years of wearing uniforms, wearing a rat tail on the right side of the back of my head, because it was a trend on the last semester of high school. I was a 17-year-old Sabaneño in a foreign land he had visited before but never truly experienced. My first class was English, where I met some friends who I would go on to spend time with, but eventually only see through social media, because they went their separate ways. One of them I never saw after that first year. Then came ESPA, and I would finish my day with physical education and UNIV, short for university orientation. Classes flew and I still didn't know what I was doing, but I knew this was going to be a different stage in life. That much I knew. I turned 18 this day, and despite the rain, I welcomed this new chapter with open arms. It was hard making friends in this new stage of life. Maya is close to home, only 30 minutes away, but many of the people I knew from Sabana Grande and San Germán went their own ways. Some studied in Ponce, others in Rio and Santurce. Many stayed in San Germán and few came to Maya or left with the diaspora. The only people I knew who came to Maya were people who I never really associated myself with in high school. Very few were friends, and even those eventually left, due to la huelga del 2010, because they feared they would never finish college. So I had to adapt like I once did in high school, as at this time the environment was a lot bigger. Probably 3 or 4 times bigger than my high school, but in the end I was successful. I remember those first few times we met in the library, bro. I knew we were becoming friends, but never in my wildest dream would I end up calling you brother and telling you I love you. If it wasn't for you and everyone who came together and eventually formed part or became what we would all call La Mesa, but I would eventually call family. I remember that first semester we would hang out in the library talking about our latest film, music, and literature discoveries. It was an exchange of information which would later turn into a family of over 40 people when we would one day move to La Mesa, the base of location for most of our college days, sometimes bad, but most times good. It started with us and then came the rest. A beautiful friendship gave birth to a grande familia filled with more ups and downs and happy parties that would make any partygoer jealous. Some have left to become professionals in other pueblos and countries. One of us became a father, one of us left this world, but we remember him dearly. Generations have come, others have left, others persist. And even though La Mesa will one day be alone, and none of us will be there to claim it, the love and energy shared will forever exist in each and every one of us. It'll be something we will tell our offspring one day. My third option in my application was history. I believe we've made history, at least our own history. The only reason I entered college was to expand my cinematic knowledge. Eventually, I was able to apply to the film certificate, and in almost every semester of my BA, I was able to make a film course, thus providing at least one class to be happy for every semester in that 5-year stretch. However, most of these classes didn't teach me much I hadn't known already. To say I was disappointed is an understatement, but I did meet some of the people I would cherish as familia and work with the most in my filmmaking career. Eddie, Aleto, and Fran, I love you fellas. Let's keep it going. Pan con ajo en tabaquero metiéndole diente y moviendo el cine pa'lante. I had been a writer since I was a teen, but it wasn't until college that I decided to take it seriously. I remember taking minority literature of the United States. It was there where I found out about my two favorite poets, Langston Hughes and Tato Laviera. Their poetry was like seeing hope. I got confidence, and I knew I could write. Nobody was gonna stop me. I submitted my work to a friend's self-published magazine and one of La Uni's online magazine, and after being published a few times, I took my writing much more serious and looked for various ways to get published. I had no idea what the fuck I was gonna do. I felt just as I did when I entered this place in the first place. Lost. No idea what to do next. Más perdido que lost in translation. Fell into depression, even left my girl for a month. Mom told me to do a master's in English. Aprovecha, mijo, es gratis. So I applied and was immediately accepted. No sweat, no nothing. Here I am still, 9th year in colegio, 4th of masters, soon to be done or so I think. No idea what's next.